Hey guys, so I am back with another dental hygiene video. This video is pretty much long overdue. I completed my program about 2 months ago. Well, about a month ago. So I completed in July 2021. So initially, because this is going to be a different, obviously kind of a different video than the usual dental hygiene experience. So mine has COVID in it. So my class was the class that kind of just got really messed up because of COVID. Like, we were just getting slapped left and right. And I mean, even the instructors were just like baffled. Like, they didn't know what to do. Like, no one had experienced anything like this, right? So I'm gonna go over some key points. I'm actually gonna start from the top because I know a lot of you guys who are watching are probably looking into going into hygiene school or already just starting hygiene school. Whatever it is, I'm just gonna start from the top. I'm gonna be very detailed. I'm gonna try to tell you guys everything that I remember. I'm gonna try to give you guys tips and advice and ways that you can bring your grades up and how to stay organized. Like, that's so important. My program was I'm sorry, I'm gonna be like touching my hair a lot. Anyway, my hygiene school, my program was 5 semesters long, and then you take your prereqs before that. I already made a video on the prereqs. That's on my account. You guys can check that out on my channel. I will say for your first semester will probably be the hardest semester ever. If you're like me, where you're not really book smart, I mean, like you can be if you try really, really hard. That's kind of how I am. So I just have to like look through things 10 times harder than someone else has to. Someone else is better in those subjects. So I had to work really hard, and there was this one class that I was honestly barely passing. And in our program, you had to get a 75 or above to be passing. And so it wasn't a 70. It was those 5 points make a huge difference, okay? So I remember the only way I got out of that was, honestly, I just had to go to my professor. I went to my professor, and your professors will be really helpful. Go to them, go talk to them, set up tutorials with them, and that's what really helped me, and making flashcards really helped me. Just saying things out loud and explaining it to someone else is what helps me. I wasn't really like, you know, some people are strictly flashcards, or some people are strictly write it out. Some people are strictly memorize, just say it out loud. I was kind of a mixture, so I kind of had a hard time figuring out what worked for me, but here I am, I passed it, so that's great. First semester was really hard. You're just gonna have to get used to everything, especially if you don't have a background in dental hygiene. It's gonna be kind of hard to get used to everything, or sorry, not dental hygiene, in dental assisting, any kind of medical background. If you don't have that, it's going to be kind of hard for you to get into the flow of things, but you'll get it. There's going to be a lot of people in your program. We started with about 32 students, and we finished with 24 students. Next up, so first semester's over, probably the hardest semester ever. Second semester, so first semester was fall of 2019. And then second semester, which is our spring semester, that's when COVID kind of hit. So second semester is also gonna be really hard. It's gonna feel really hard. I will say, now that I've gone through the entire program, I remember we finished through the second semester, and then we went into spring break, and then COVID hit. Like, we never came back from spring break. We just were on spring break, and everything started shutting down, and I would say March 15th. Like, I remember one of the last times I went out with my brother, and then it was just, everything was shutting down. So we never really got to finish that semester. We went online for that semester, and it was a whole mess. We were trying to figure out how to take tests online and how to turn on our assignments, and I mean, we couldn't finish clinic. We couldn't finish that second semester clinic. And that semester we were just starting with just seeing patients who had mainly clean teeth, like mainly level 0s and calculus level 0s and 1s, and maybe gingivitis patients. So we never really got to, get our required, because there's a certain number of hours you have to be in clinic for, and we just never got to finish that. So come summer semester, so summer 2020, we're in spring 2020, never got to finish, but we went online, so that's how we finished. Come summer 2020, still COVID, right? Everything's closed. However, my program figured out ways for only our program to come to campus. So they got special permission, and we had to be in like crazy PPE, face mask, face shield, full PPE. Okay, y'all, I just realized that my video cut out while I was editing. So what I did want to say was that after the summer semester, we came back fully on campus, and we took pharmacology that following semester, the fall semester, which was really supposed to be our spring semester, but we were a semester behind. Therefore, I graduated in summer of 2021 instead of spring of 2021. So one takeaway that I will give you is that you will feel extremely confident in your clinical skills and in your understanding of dental hygiene, of periodontal health and non-health. And I'm not going to go into the details, because once you're a student, you'll know what I'm talking about. You will just really feel confident in everything by the midpoint of your fall semester. That is what our professors told us, and they were correct. Literally, by the midpoint of your third semester in dental hygiene school, you should feel like you know your shit. So if you feel like you don't know your shit the first 2 semesters, and even till the first half of the third semester, don't freak out, because you'll be all right. You'll know it. If you don't know it by the midpoint of the third semester, get help. Reach out, because the next 2 semesters are going to be really tough, especially the last semester. Your second to last semester, which is your 4th semester, you're going to be working on filling up your graduation requirements, and finding patients and having them come in and all that, finishing up your evaluations, things like that. And so your last semester, really just going to be focusing on studying for boards and finding your board patient. That is going to occupy most of your time, and also just finishing up any last minute graduation requirements. Basically, just getting your shit together to finish your program strong. So that is my takeaway from that. I'm gonna now, the next clip is just gonna be me talking about credits and all I know from credits, and I will try to upload another video in detail about how to find your credits patient, and when to start looking for them, and how to even screen them, and there's just key things to look out for. Make sure your patient isn't really taking that many medications. Make sure they're not pregnant. Make sure they don't have any conditions. Basically, this is paper right here. You're gonna have to make sure that they don't, if they answer yes to anything on this list, they're gonna need a MedCon. And MedCon is just a medical consultation from their doctor saying they're good to go to have a cleaning done for the exam. And I just didn't deal with any of that. I just tried to look for a patient with not that many health issues, pretty much healthy, no medications, because those kind of patients there's no hassle. They just show up and you pay them and you do their teeth, they leave, and hopefully you pass. So I found out my credits score right after the exam, literally in 15 minutes I found out, and it was great. It was amazing because I'd already taken my written boards. I just took my, we just had our pinning ceremony right before, and so everything was good. Life was good. I got a 98 on my credits exam, which I'm really proud of. So that's what I'm saying. I hope I touched all the topics. I will say though, you guys have to please make a Google Calendar. On Google, there is a section where you can actually make a public, like 2 calendars. That way you can share that calendar as a link to your patients. And what I like to do is I like to go on and write down the days because my clinic schedule is kind of everywhere, and it's hard to like tell people, well, I'm open this day and this day and this day, but not this day. So instead of doing all that, I just send them the calendar and I say, hey, these are my openings. Choose a couple of days that work for you, and I will reserve those days for you to come in. And I will obviously confirm with them a few days before, the night before, and make sure they have all the information that they need, make sure they have their parking pass if they need one, make sure. And so I also usually give my patients, our instructors always tell us, don't pay your patients, but it's really hard to get people to come in. So I ended up paying a lot of my patients at least the $25 that they had to pay the first appointment. So I usually always give that back, and I also sometimes paid for their sealants because we also had some certain sealant requirements, and you have to do what you have to do, and I had to pay somehow. And if that meant that I just paid them for their treatment, and that's fine with me because I'm also helping them and I'm also gaining experience. So yippity yeah, that was my dental hygiene journey. I'm about to start work as a dental assistant soon, only because my wonderful advisors at my school failed to let me know that I had to take the Spanish, like a language class, in order to fulfill one of the requirements that the state requires. This is a whole different thing. This is not really dental hygiene related, but I thought I was done with my degree as well, but I just have to take this one class before I can get my license. So I'm just taking that right now. I'm just chilling. I'm gonna be just assisting, hygiene assisting right now as well, just gaining more experience. So I forgot to mention this, but the reason why I had not noticed that I needed this one class is because this class isn't really a part of my pathway. It's just some other thing that I need because of my high school stuff. Anyway, so the reason why it was weird is because I actually even I had a graduation ceremony, and I got the approval for that, even though I didn't have that class, which was really confusing. But then I guess they did another audit in the summer of 2021, and that's when they were like, oh, hey, by the way, you're missing this, you gotta take it. And I'm just like, well, I'm not taking it during summer because I have my boards, I have credits, I just have way too much going on. I have last 2 requirements, patient requirements, clinic requirements that I have to finish up. So I just was like, I'll just take it after I finish. And so that's what I'm doing. I will also say that you should really make sure you're checking on your requirements. Make sure, because I mean, I'm gonna tell you guys, like, advisors don't always do the best job. So you guys need to be checking all your requirements, make sure they're done. I thought I had everything together, and I'm always that type of person that makes sure she has everything together, but just didn't this time, and it's just how it worked. But basically, my transcript will not say an associate's in dental hygiene without like that little class. So I'm taking a mini semester of it online. It's pretty easy so far. I just started yesterday. So it's been pretty chill. I've been enjoying life. It's good to be not in hygiene school anymore. I don't miss it at all. I did, however, make some amazing friends and sisters. Like we are just, they're so wonderful. We're so close. We still talk to each other every day. We have our own group chats. We throw each other surprise parties. We meet up. We hang out. We dance. We cried with each other. We did everything. Your dental hygiene sisters or brothers, friends, will be everything to you. Like, they will be your rock throughout the school year because no one else knows what you're going through other than them. So that's my experience. I hope I answered everything that came to mind. I know this video was kind of everywhere, but I needed to make this video and I needed to just put it out there because I know I'm gonna start working soon and I'm just not gonna have time to make it anymore. I hope you guys enjoyed, and you guys can, leave questions in the comments. You guys can share it, like it, whatever. I'm always here to answer your dental hygiene questions, and also I have a few resources that I can also share, so you guys can just leave your comment down below and I will make sure I get that too. Bye!